Technological Perversity, Part 1. Crash, Ballard, Baudrillard and Accidental Doom. Written by Thomas C. Rees. The organic body is nothing but a medium, something to be filled and moulded. The rationalist perspective and functional vision of modernity are to say that the body is a blank slate for perverse technologies and technique. McLuhan would vouch that language itself is man's first technology. That is not to be confused with a mere tool, but a technical apparatus for communication bounded as a type of communication device, i.e., language freeing man from the unconscious world prior to cave painting and noises. So we thought. Or is it, as Burroughs once put it, language is a virus from outer space? Or maybe, as Heidegger once quipped, language is master of man, and something that doesn't free us but enslaves us more when further detached from the referential. What does this all have to say about modern technologies that have rapidly evolved at the turn of the 19th century? Do these technologies appeal to our unconscious in some way? Do they mould us into themselves, so to speak? Or the more apocalyptic views from Baudrillard pointed out in Simulation and Simulacra in his essay of J.G. Ballard's Crash, more so Cronenberg's movie adaptation. Technology is the mortal deconstruction of the body, no longer a functional medium, but the extension of death. End quote. When reading J.G. Ballard's 1973 novel Crash, I am struck by its prophesied warning to modern technology and his use of the automobile as a subordination and focal point for the sexual and erotic desire that is linked closely to the unconscious death drive. Or should I say the properties of the automobile? Speed, efficiency, aesthetics, marketing, status. A lot can be said in these pages about man's new central relationship with technology. To wax Heideggerian a moment, also at the rate with which they enframe us. Possession, so to speak. In Ballard's case, it is pure intoxication and erotic delight. The landscape itself, he describes, facilitates this perverse fixation of the cold chrome automobile. The entire zone which defined the landscape of my life was bounded by a continuous artificial horizon, formed by the raised parapets and embankments of the motorways and their access roads and interchanges. These encircled the vehicles below like the walls of a crater several miles deep in diameter. End quote. Crash. Everything here moulds the mind of our protagonist, aptly named after the author Ballard himself. The networks and highways create the organs for which he can express his extreme individuality in the medium of the automobile, in the form of a new sex that is at once banal and cold. He is not interested in any form of metaphysical sexuality, or even human to say the least, but that which is bathed only in narcissism, bourgeois curiosity, ruthlessness and psychopathy. As the novel persists, we go past the threshold of what is transgressive and enter into the alien domain of complete technological perversity, compounded not just by the automobile but the landscape itself, being that of a London airport and its surroundings. Desperately wanting to become one with the machine, Ballard echoes Morinetti's futurist manifesto. Its modernist desire to replace the gods and myths with the automobile and mass industrialized technologies runs through here, but in a dispassionate and calculated way aimed at the leisure classes of neoliberal capital rather than a revolutionary spirit, making it a more postmodern inspection. The accident itself reveals technology's true nature upon the human body and psyche. Car crash. As Baudrillard pointed out in Simulation and Simulacra, technology is never grasped except in the accident, that is to say, in the violence done to technology itself and in the violence done to the body. This is also an idea Virilio takes further, explaining how the invention of the ship creates the shipwreck, the invention of the plane creates the plane crash, or in a more modern terms, the ability to be a projectile for terrorism. What if the subject indulges in such accidents? Does it make him insane? Or is it a byproduct of civilizational domestication to break free from the technical interface? In Ballard's world, the accident is the goal, erotic fixation, and the identity of the characters overcoming fear, passiveness, and the boredom of regular life to be free from it by actively causing and wanting accidents to happen. A perverse experiment, a kind of chaos theory of human agency, and an exhibitionistic element. Midway through the novel, Ballard goes to a show with Helen, the wife of the husband he killed in a car crash. The show reads, the recreation of a spectacular road accident, where they watch a reenactment of an accident and multiple pile-ups, representing the simulation of their new desires. We are familiar with how our moods and happiness could be dictated by the internet through dopamine-riddled practices and also sexual desires, whilst claiming to be free individuals. Men are spending more time watching porn and talking to women on OnlyFans than actually having or committing to real-life sexual acts themselves, thereby subordinating themselves to the machine, having their tastes shaped and modified by content and the digital environment. Even the most natural acts are reduced to algorithmic seduction. The World Wide Web invades the public sector, news, entertainment, cuisine, dating life, and so on. However, this invasion is trivial when one considers what it does to our subconscious desires. It comes across as a continuation of a mass MK Ultra style social experiment, a failed project that believed it could completely reshape our minds and nature through strong psychedelics. If you can empty the content first, you can fill it with what you like. Much like an engineered replica from Blade Runner, having its thoughts implanted, its dreams created by a mega corporation, Tyrell Corporation. The postmodern subject, therefore, could be seen to be the emptiest of historical subjects, devoid of much cultural and ethnic identity, and firmly in the milieu of neoliberal technocratic globalism, creating their own artificial identities, alienated by perverse bureaucratic techniques. Much like Ballard in Crash, he is a character very much seeking a new identity in the form of the automobile.